easier, but it's always the same energy, which is like awesome.
We know this show is very much a standalone story, but how exciting is it to be part of the whole X-Men universe and all that history?
It's quite nice. I mean, I am a part of a Marvel universe, Big Hero 6, but to be in a live-action Marvel universe is quite thrilling, and I'm honored to be a part of it. You know, what I love about what I love about our universe is quite unique because I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's during a time where, you know, the X-Men have been dismantled as well as the Brotherhood. We don't know if they exist. So the mutants aren't band together to save the world against supervillains. We're band together to survive, you know? So the story is quite unique. It's a bit more grounded. I feel like it's a bit more grounded. And it's fun to see the characters like try to control their powers versus, you know, like opening a portal with the flick of the wrist, which is super cool looking, you know, but also it's also interesting to see her like really figure things out personally.
What is it like, I guess, how different is it playing such an iconic character in a live-action, you know, series versus...
It's daunting, because there's so many interpretations of Blink, whether it's in Exiles, or Regeneration, or... I don't know how many more there are. I'm sure there's plenty, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for that. But do you know what I mean? And I read Exiles, and in Exiles she was the leader, which we haven't seen before, because usually in the comics she's like kind of all over the place. And you know, in Exile she was a leader, and I think in this version she's independent. You know, she grew up in a world where mutants were like, people hated on mutants. You know, and she had the markings. She couldn't hide the fact that she was a mutant, so she's a bit tough. You know, she's always been independent. She's always been on her own. She's never had any friends. So she's quite sassy. I think she's like socially a little bit awkward. So it's really quite fun to play that version of Blink. But it's daunting, like you said, because Fan Bingbing is a major movie star. But luckily, our universe is a different reality than theirs.
And she's such a fan favorite character as well. Like when
Do you think so?
When she initially appeared, you know, she was only like a short-lived character, but then fan demand kind of brought her back.
Interesting.
Yeah. So is that? Do you feel? Is that daunting? Is that exciting? Knowing
Now
that
it
people
is.
Sorry. Yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You know, I think the expectations are high, and I certainly don't want to screw this up. But you know, I think it's also important to remind the fans that it's a different version of Blink. So I hope they're not disappointed with that. And if they are, it's not my fault.
Right. Yeah.
So what can you tell us, I guess, about this version of Blink? 'Cause I think at this point, there's just been a couple trailers, right? So
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting to find out more about her past, like why she is the way she is. It'd be interesting to like dive right into her backstory, which I don't know yet. But they're like, it's coming, it's gonna be good, so it's gonna be good, and it's coming.
What can you say about the? I mean, you talked about it a little bit, but the overall tone of the series as well. It sounds like it is quite dark and dramatic.
Well, I feel like Fox does it right. You know, like I'm quite biased, but season 2 of Gotham was quite dark and interesting. But you know, they're kind of known to do that, and you know, it's Lauren Shuler Donner who also does Legion, which is my favorite show besides The Gifted. But it's different, and it's doing, you know, they're not staying in one lane, you know. But that's really quite. I'm excited, and it's going to be great. But we are in really good hands. Bryan Singer, Lauren Shuler Donner, all the other producers on Legion, all the other X-Men films were a part of this, and it's the first time that they're doing a show on Fox, so they really don't want to screw it up. So everything is well thought out. There's a lot of, you know, different people that we have to go to in order to get permission to do certain things. So we'll see we'll see how limited, or if it is quite limited. So we'll see how the season goes.
As you continue to delve into the character, is there anything you find you surprised to learn about yourself as an actress?
Oh yeah, I mean, the imagination, it always goes back to the basic things as an actor when you're on set, and ripping apart space and opening portals. Like, it really requires like a younger imagination. You it's like something that we all had when we were like 5 or 6 and playing in the backyard. So it's really quite fun. But going down to basics, it's fun.
With Brian being such a kind of veteran of the X-Men franchise, how was it having him direct?
That was very daunting. We were terrified. We didn't know. Do you know what I mean? We were like, oh wait, who's directing it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's an honor, and he's a busy man, and he just came off of, Apocalypse. So we were terrified, but thankfully he was one of the nicest guys. And as soon as you start a conversation, with him about this universe, it's the easiest conversation to have because you will not find anyone else more enthusiastic than him.
So do you think there's a shift now after Wonder Woman? There's so many more like strong female characters with superpowers and with
I think that was extremely important. Yes, that's a really good point. After something like Wonder Woman, I think we were all really inspired by it. And even though it's a different franchise, we see something like this and we're like, finally, it gives permission a bit to just play our true colors, which is strong women, We've been doing it forever, but also it's putting the pressure on creatives to make interesting storylines where you're not just the love interest or, the girl next door or something so boring. But as you can see, and soon you'll meet really strong female personalities. Emma Dumont, for example, is extremely strong, it's good. It's really fun because it's a lot of sassy, strong, independent women that are part of this project. Yeah. It's fun. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you.
much.
I'm going to go over here.